Hello, everybody. It's Gary and Marianne and Rosary. um, yeah, and and she always finds her way in the video.
She
We
should be
try not. To,
sleeping.
we try not to. It's supposed to be us too.
Okay.
It's this. It's this forever. A Catholic Devotional for Your Marriage by Jackie Francois, Angel, and Bobby Angel. Not husband and wife and baby. But, we're going to do it anyways just because she can't be away right now. Okay.
Thank you, Rosary.
All right. We actually did this earlier today, right before evening mass. It was like right before mass was at 5:30, so we kind of did. We started like around 4:45 ish, before 5 o'clock. So I went first. Okay, I'll go in front of the tabernacle. At least it's kind of just like by myself with Jesus. But they were practicing, so I kind of prayed like this. And that was good because I could hear myself breathing on the kneeler
Why are you
in
talking
front of the
louder?
tabernacle. Yeah, I can't hear you. So I could hear myself breathing. But then I thought, it was kind of working, not working. After that, for about 5 minutes, then I actually went outside to the schoolyard of the church and sat on a bench, and that's where I felt more like quiet. I felt more of that peace that the challenge wanted us or myself to experience. Because inside the church was this distraction of the music and the practice of music and song. So outside sitting on the bench, I mean, I was kind of with like praying to myself. But then when I was out on the bench, then I was able just to like look around and observe, and just kind of just feel that solitude, that being by myself for that moment. What I really noticed is just like hearing like the wind, as it blows, uh, as you hear it, like it might blow through like against the trees, like the rustling. Obviously, I could hear like from a distance like kids playing, and then street traffic. But then from a far distance, I could see like palm trees, because it was a little breezy, so the trees were swaying a little bit. Um, yeah, and just really taking in like my surroundings. When I'm in that kind of solitude, more so now, I guess I'm just like, just being grateful. So it was like in the church, in front of the tabernacle, all I could think was just like gratitude, just like thank you God, thank you Jesus for, um, and it was like the same thing outside, just being thankful for what I have, what we have at the moment, in spite of, whatever is going on in the day or the challenges of that we may be experiencing right now. But just being thankful, and I think, and we've kind of started or and do it like gratitude in our prayer or gratitude journal that we do with the kids. So yeah, so because I didn't know what else to think other than just um, kind of embracing the moment, just enjoying the moment, I guess. While I was outside, then it made me think back to before when I met Marianne. I used to live in Upland, California, with some friends, and it was like kind of in the foothills of San Bernardino, close, um, in which like I could see in the background like the mountains. And what I would do is like I would walk around the block, and then very felt very much at peace. So today's like challenge actually brought me back to another moment where I experienced the same thing and kind of confirmed that, like I'm okay with just being alone in quietness, in quiet in solitude, and I didn't have to like look for a distraction or anything. Just appreciate what God has created for us. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay. We both had to work, and then we had the kids. Because normally he's off on Sundays, and then I'm seeing clients. But he had to work, and then his boss said, "Oh, you can bring the kids with you." It's like 5 kids that he was going to bring with him. And I thought, wow, I don't know what that's going to look like. So, so he took the boys, and I had the girls. So he had 2, I had 3. And I'm driving to work, and the girls are in the way back of the car talking. So I kind of started my alone time that way, even if I wasn't really alone, but I was alone in my thoughts, if you will. And so I was praying the rosary like I always do whenever I'm going somewhere. I started to cry because I started to think of my mom. So in the last 2 videos, I've mentioned my dad. But today I was meditating on my relationship with my mom because she is the one who named me. And so I think after I was done with the rosary, I thought about my name and how my mom would always say that she knew that if she had a daughter, she was going to name her Marianne. She always knew that, like even before she got married. And she would tell everybody, "Oh, my daughter Marianne, she's named after the mother of Jesus and his grandmother," you know. I stopped in my reflective prayer, and what made me cry was the fact that my mom named me after 2 of the greatest mothers who have ever lived. Ever, ever, ever lived. And it just hit me all of a sudden, you know? So as far as me coming back to my faith when I was in my early 20s and appreciating Mama Mary and St. Anne, now that I'm a mom of 5 children and I need all the help I can get, I was like, oh my gosh, my mom had no idea what my life would look like, you know, when she, in her mind, dreamed about her daughter someday and said she would name her Marianne. And we're just sitting around at St. Anthony. Gary went in, did his prayer time alone, and then came back and then let me have my time. So I went to the front of the church, and in front of the church there's a statue of St. Anthony. And so I stood in front of St. Anthony and I just looked at him. And you know when you stand in front of a statue and it kind of feels like, not feels like, because it's not alive, obviously. But it seems like the statue is looking at you. Like, that's how I felt. Like, St. Anthony was, like, not, he wasn't in the statue, you know, but, like I felt his presence was there, you know. And so, so here I am, like, praying, and, you know, St. Anthony's, like, the saint of, like, helping you find stuff. So right now we're in transition, really asking God to provide for our family, because I'm no longer teaching full-time. And, you know, I'm asking St. Anthony, you know, can you help us find help, you know, just support in ways that our family needs, just on all levels, you know, because it's hard homeschooling and being parents and being spouses to one another and just living a radically faithful life that really bears fruit for not only our children and each other, but for everybody around us. And you know what, like, I felt like St. Anthony was like saying to my heart, I'm gonna ask God for more for you. I'm gonna help you find not just things, resources, whatever you need to help your family. I felt like he was saying to my heart, I'm gonna help you find souls that you are going to help along their journey to Jesus. And I was like, wow, that's so much more. There's no price tag for that. There's absolutely no price tag for that. So here I am, like, you know, all worried about temporal needs, you know, material needs for us, but that's what it's all about, you know. And so coming back to my mom, right? Her name is Erlinda, by the way. So as I'm sharing about her, say a prayer for her because she's here without my dad. Um, but she's done done so much just in her yes, in saying yes to my dad. She knew deep down in her heart that she needed to choose my dad because he was the one that was better fit for her. So as we're talking about marriage and people coming together because God brought them to one another, it was just incredible. And so my dad was 45 when he married my mom, and he was 15 years older than her, so she was 30 when they got married. I was reflecting on everything that my mom had done to allow my dad into her life. Not because she was lonely, not because she was desperate to get married, but because God called her to her vocation and brought someone to journey with her in that. And ever since I was little, I always I rave about my dad because we had a very, very close relationship. And he was the one that would like take us out to the park and play with us and all of that. And my mom was a very quiet presence. But because of who she was, he was allowed to be who he was for us. And that kind of support for her husband, I mean, since the very beginning. And so all of this was coming to me in my heart as I was in there in the silence, also, feeling the breeze and looking around at the flowers and the trees. And I remember when I was presented with the job at St. Anthony, she told me, your dad used to live in Gardena when he was single. And I thought, if he lived in Gardena, he must have gone to church at St. Anthony. Just standing there in front of the statue with all of the points of my journey with Gary and our family, it reached back into the journey of my parents and their faithfulness to following his will. In that, I really felt and experienced the Lord's presence because he was saying to me, I'm not leaving you alone. I'm not leaving you alone. Even if you might feel lonely, even if you might feel like I'm not listening or I'm not answering your prayers right now, I'm here because I was here for you before. I was here for you in the beginning of your marriage, in the beginning of your courtship, in the beginning of the friendship with Gary, and I was here for your parents before you were even conceived. And that to me was incredible. All of this came to me like in 10 minutes before Mass started, Oh my gosh. And I was just crying, and it was amazing to be able to open up my heart for that time because again, like I don't get the time by myself like that very often at all. Like the only time I really get by myself is like when I'm driving to and from appointments to see clients. Other than that, I'm always with the kids, and Gary's always around. So it was really nice. So I just want to thank you, Jackie and Bobby, for that challenge because it was hard. It took us 2 days to be able to like find, because we were supposed to do this yesterday.
On a Saturday.
Yeah, but today's Sunday.
Yeah.
But the Saturday was so busy.
Yeah.
So finally we were able to have time to do it, and then to be able to like film this video right now. We both fell asleep after praying with the kids because we were so tired, and then I just happened to wake up, and
it's after 12 o'clock at night right now. If
you're
wondering, I just said Sunday night, but it's really like past midnight. It might be 12:15 right now.
I woke him up and I was like, I know it's late, but we need to do this.
Yeah.
We have to do this for us, and we have to do this for the kids. It's, it's more than just making, fun videos and going through the book. This is an investment forever. Yeah. That's why Jackie and Bobby called it the daily challenge, because it's not easy to do consistently. Here I have, my husband doing this with me, and we just got to stay committed. We got to do this. We're going to do this. We told ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Till tomorrow. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day.
Yes. Okay. Bye.